Focusing on the breath is a really good way to get out of the monkey mind and come into your heart. So this is the first layer of the Merkaba, and this is going to be a breathing practice that you can do. And it activates you very powerfully and it gets you used to seeing energy. So the human body, we have a light body. And if you look at the Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, and there's a sphere around the body, everybody has that, and it's proportional to your body. The top of the sphere is exactly 1 hand length above your head and 1 hand length below your feet. When you're sitting down like I am now, cross-legged, it's still 1 hand length, but my feet are folded, so the sphere extends below me into the earth. In the center of the sphere is a tube, and this is a breathing tube for breathing prana, and it is exactly that big. Whatever this is on your body is how big it is. And it enters through the crown, and it enters through the perineum of your body, and that extends to the edges of the sphere. So just to recap, you got a sphere that perfectly encapsulates your body. Hand length above and below your feet, above your head, with a breathing tube that runs through the center of it. And you can breathe on the inhale. You see golden light coming in the top and the bottom of this breathing tube. And it meets in a sphere that is around your heart chakra. That's where it's set. And the sphere is exactly this big. However big that is on your body is how big it is. So you breathe in, golden light comes in the top and bottom of the breathing tube, meets in a sphere at the heart chakra. And when you exhale, you see, sense, and feel that light going out to fill the Leonardo sphere around your body. This powerfully activates you. This is the first layer of the Merkaba. And anytime you breathe prana in this way, you are remembering your Merkaba. And you'll really start to feel the prana activating your chakras. You'll really feel your crown and your root. It's a really good way to start to feel energy. You'll feel it throughout your whole system. And it relaxes you and it grounds you and it gives you energy. So if you focus on that for a little bit, anytime the brain is racing and you can't really come into your heart, that's a really good way to pull you into your body. So a good way to practice that if you've never done it before. See, sense, and feel the golden light coming in the top and bottom. You can kind of use your hands to help. See it come in, fill up a sphere, and on the exhale, push it out. And it's all imagination and intention. If you intend for something to happen, then it does. That's how the spiritual stuff works. And it's kind of fun. Sometimes I like to see it. So normally you see it coming in on the inhale, exhale, pushing out. I like to visualize that it never stops flowing in, and it also never stops flowing out. But I'll continue to breathe with it. And that feels like it fills you up. Like you feel expanded. That's a little fun thing. You don't have to do that, but I like doing that. The human body, we have 4 parts to our body. We have a physical body, an emotional body, a mental body, and a light body. Physical body is very self-explanatory. Mental body, everything produced from the brain. The brain has its own emotions. There's a left brain, right brain. The emotions of the brain are completely separate from the emotions of the heart. They're their own things. And that's part of coming to the heart, is switching to the emotions of your heart, where there's no judgment. Very important. So that's the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. Like I said, there's the emotions of the heart and the brain. They're separate things. But your emotional body, your emotions. These things can be seen and detected on a certain level. We really don't Instrumentation to detect these things is not common, but there is science that's taking place to detect these things. Somebody made a microwave, something that can detect a microwave that's 4 degrees Kelvin, so that's an extremely low energy microwave, and they could see the light body, the chakras. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, so there's physical body, mental body, emotional body, and then there's the light body, and that's their chakras. That's the Merkaba. And they're all interconnected. Whatever happens to one body is going to affect all your other bodies. So to be healthy and really, it's a wholesome endeavor. You can't neglect your emotions. You can't neglect your physical body. You got to pay attention and make sure they're all good, because they're all going to be affecting each other. That's why it's really important, if you're into raising your consciousness, it's a wholesome endeavor. You got to make sure everything is, you got to pay attention to the whole thing. So it's fun to visualize, and I learned this from June Villel Melchizedek, by the way. You can visualize the interaction of all the bodies as the points on a tetrahedron, the Platonic solid, a tetrahedron. It's basically a triangle. If you imagine a cube to a square, this is the triangle to a tetrahedron. That's the tetrahedron. Cube is also a Platonic solid, by the way. And so there's 4 points on the tetrahedron, and each point is each of our bodies: the mental, physical, emotional, and light body. So they're all connected. The Earth is due for a pole shift. If you believe the Earth is flat, phrase that however you want to, but it's a phenomenon. Apply it to whichever way you see the Earth. Pole shifts take place about every 13,000 years. We are very due for it. Apparently, when the magnetic field of the Earth and when the magnetic North Pole and the physical North Pole reach the same place, then the magnetic field is going to die, and then there's a layer beneath the crust of the Earth, and that's going to become liquid, and the crust of the Earth is going to shift. And it's going to be, you can imagine, if the crust of the Earth shifts, all the air and the water has been spinning in this way, the ground moves beneath it, it still keeps going. So there's going to be just Mach speed air and water, just continents are going to change. It's a big deal. And we are very due for this event. And it is intimately tied with consciousness on the planet. It's gonna be the big, now it's happening. It's gonna be, ready or not, here we go. According to the Hopis, if you know how to connect yourself to Mother Earth and Father Sky in love, form that love triangle, the unity breath meditation, which I've talked about. I've shown how to do it. There's a guided meditation. If you know how to maintain that connection, it's a very special frequency, and Mother Earth will recognize that. And while things are shifting and changing around you, mountains are rising, oceans are flying across the landscape, Mother Earth will shift reality around you and keep you safe. That's what the Hopi believe. That's what I believe. I don't believe in prepping personally because of that and how deeply tied it is with consciousness. It's going to happen when we are all very ready for it. Even if some people are going to die in it, but death is just another path. It's there's nothing to be afraid of. Everything's very prepared. So the people who are consciously ready, we're gonna have a really interesting experience. And then, so everybody's going. Nobody's gonna be left behind. Scientists have looked at metal filings in lava flows, and they could date these lava flows back thousands of years, and they can see that these metal filings, because the metal filings, when it's in the liquid, like lava, when the lava's liquid, they align to north and south, and then it solidifies, and that's solidified in time, it's crystallized. They go back and they see the north and south poles have been in different geographic locations. And they go back thousands and thousands of years and they see that it's been happening and switching continuously. It's intimately tied with consciousness. This is part of the precession of the equinoxes. It's at these points in the precession of the equinox when giant shifts, like a pole shift, take place. It's not at the apex of pointing towards the center of the galaxy or away. It's when it's come past a little bit. And then the big shift happens to usher in the new age. So to break it down again, what's going to happen? The magnetic field of the Earth has been dying. The magnetic North Pole has been traveling at an extremely accelerated rate. There's big holes opening in the magnetic field. Basically, the magnetic field is dying. When it goes away, when it completely goes away, according to the Hopi, I believe, then there's going to be 2 weeks before the shift happens. And when the shift happens, it's not just going to be a geographical event, it's going to be a very spiritual event. There's going to be, so not only is there going to be a big shift in the landscape, Earth is going to enter void for 3 days. It's going to be total blackness, complete void, where there's no doubt that you and God are one. And when we come out of the void, we'll be in the 4th dimension of the Earth. It's going to be the big event that brings us all into the 4th dimension, whether you've prepared for it or not. So it's a good thing.